Welcome to Insight Plug, the podcast where independent creators and entrepreneurs connect and aspire. I'm your host, Devon Jones. Today on our show, we have multi-talented actress Susan Hu. Susan, welcome to the show.
Hi, welcome. Thanks for the invitation.
Glad to have you. It's been a while since we caught up. I remember I first met you at, I believe it was the International Kids Film Festival here in California.
Yes.
And since then, you've been busy, 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 and we all love that from filmmakers. So before we jump into the many things that you've been up to, let's talk about Susan as an actress. When did you decide that acting was a career that you wanted to pursue?
Well, actually, I wasn't even thinking about acting per se. It just kind of fell in my lap. I was actually major in music entertainment world, like a music aspect, right? And I was just, you know, trying to get my career started, talking to many few peoples and actually, I just kind of landed like an acting career out of the blue, nowhere in New York City, that I was doing a gig at the time with a friend indie company. And I was doing like a red carpet thing for a movie premiere. Met this guy, um, Louis Padron, which we will talk about in a bit. And he got me started in film, and uh ever since that, like it just turned 360. So acting was never in my thought to begin with.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Got discovered out of nowhere. So you're at the red carpet event, and then this person just comes up to you and just, hey, so do they introduce a gig to you? Like how does the connection?
Okay, so backstory is I was very lost in New York City, Lincoln Center. I never been to New York City, never been to Lincoln Center. There were no signs of, saying like reporters, stand here. There's like zero signs. So I just wandering around with my badge of saying like media access or something. And this guy saw me just walking around. He's Filipino. He's awesome. He kind of just like came up to me like, "Are you lost?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm looking for so and so premiere, trying to interview this people and he just like, "Well, you can stand in line with me. This is, where it is. I'll show you the ropes." And then he just started begin talking to me about like, "Oh, are you interested in films and like why you interviewing these you know people?" Like, so we just got talking about. It says actually I was working for a friend's indie company at the time and they need somebody, so he kind of just tell me, "Hey, go to this event and get him footage." That's it. Like, never thought about anything, just kind of happened. And then he just like, "Oh, I have this company that I'm developing. Are you interested in joining part of this company?" At the time, I'm like, "Sure, why not?" And then that's how it got started. And then he introduced me to a friend of his who also is in acting business, who was a Hollywood star at the time, his family. So I got introduced to this family, and from there on, I was in many different indie movies, many different roles of extras, and I kind of got the acting bug per se, like it just happened.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
So,
so that's the backstory.
uh, that's a beautiful thing. All right. Could you share with us how did your first, acting role go? Did you have to audition or did they just straight put you in the project?
So the first very role I did was right off the bat. Again, never been an actress, never been on set. I was in Bond Legacy, one of the biggest, double with Matt Damon. I was an extra in there with many other friends of mine that knew this person I talked about in the beginning. And one of the person on set was an art creative like person, costume apparently. So he knew people. So that's how I got into it and was mind blown. Like how production was set and everything. And Yeah, it was interesting, like, being on set the first time, never done anything major, and step into, like, a big, huge Hollywood production, like, with no experience, scared as hell, and had my hair, makeup done, in a chair by, like, professionals. So, I mean, luckily, my friends was all there, like, the people and few of the other people, and then I met the casting director, the crew, and they're all super nice, and yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good experience. Good experience.
Oh, yeah, very.
All right. So then after that, you decided, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna go all in.
Yeah, so after that, I kinda decided I wanna try it, get my foot in the door and kinda just play along with it, like, not as a career, but a hobby. So
Okay. So
and yeah, and then after that, like I said, friends of mine's family, they have indie films. And then the person that was in charge, she was in charge of casting, and so again, I play some extra in there. And then, just from there, just from family, friends, introducing and never really auditioned for anything. Till I kind of moved to LA. And my second week, I applied just, you know, on Backstage and all the other stuff, just whatever, give it a try. And then I landed myself with Netflix.
nice.
So it was not like expected or unexpected, like totally unexpected out of left field. Just auditioned for this show called The Magic Show, Magic for Humans. And there was a lot of people there, specifically, the title was Magic for Susan. Um, Everybody named Susan, just doing auditions. Um, Never got called back, never got any, you know, thing. But and then when the show came out, that I found myself being there from everybody, like friends on my called, people, they are like, "You're in this show?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? I'm in this show?" So I was never notified. It was just like, like surprise, basically. So basically, I had no idea I got the role.
Oh wow, that's interesting. That's a good surprise.
Yeah, it was a very shocking surprise because after that, um, I wouldn't say 2018, I think. Don't quote me on that. 17, 18, something like that, that came out. The first episode, the first show on Netflix, Not Just for Humans. You can still look it up. I got calls from my friends, people that I never spoke to in years, and they messaged me on Facebook, all that other stuff. My parents, work, my dad's work, they're like, "Oh, your daughter's on this." My parents has no idea. And my work, of course, they're like, "You are on a Netflix show?" So, and then I was working, fast forward to a few years ago, I was working for a baseball team here in California, San Diego Padres, actually, um, with them. And then I have a couple fans that recognize me while I'm working. And then I was in Vegas once with friends attending I heard music award shows right after. Never been mocked, never been went to like Shake Shack, was eating, you know, ordering burgers. Bunch of fans come up to me, screaming my name, and I'm like, "Wait, what's this?" Like, they're like, "Are you Susan from Netflix show?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." They're like all freaking out. And some, people, bystander will be like, "Let her and her friends eat, order food," and the counter people are so nice. And then the whole night we have like people like after me. Like you're just like wild imagination. Never thought that little part would turn out to something, you know, to be that big per se. But I have no way in a celebrity or nothing. But I kind of experienced that just a little bit. It's kind of insane.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love to hear that. Congratulations as well. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
All right. So then now let's talk about some of the other things that you're a part of. So you attended the International Film Festival recently. How was that experience?
That was awesome. And actually, International Film Festival is part of my friend's company. In the beginning, I mentioned Louis. He's the one who got me started. It's his company. I just kind of help him, and I'm the social media director. I kind of like co-owned it, but you know what I mean? Like I say co-owned it because I started from the beginning, building up with him and his other partner. Unfortunately, passed during COVID. Gary Balasta, great friends. Um, and then three of us built that up from the beginning, bottom to almost nothing to build that up. Um, and we started doing Hurricane Sandy. So last year we celebrate our 14th year. So, every year it just grows bigger and bigger, and not to a point too big, but it's still an indie film. We want to keep it very low, like as in everybody could submit. And we're actually encourage student films, first time filmmakers, and I attend that almost every year. It's very satisfying because it's like you're seeing from grown up to your 14th year how many people you've changed and how people you let them be filmmakers, and then they go on to do bigger things and then to other, platforms. And it's just like they remember us, how where they started and how they started, when nobody gave them a chance and we give them a chance. And I actually have interns, was intern with me at the time. And then now it's like, you know, films like everywhere, like awards everywhere, internationally, nationally. And they come back each year after year, still submit to our film festival, you know. So, and we have more than a lot of return people.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, would you be able to share where filmmakers can find that film festival at? Where can they submit the projects to?
Yeah, so it's Film Freeway, and look for IFFM NYC, or you can go Instagram, IFFNYC, International Film Festival Manhattan, or follow me at Susan Hu Official, and you can DM me and I can give you the, list infos and everything. But that's the best place to do is Film Freeway. That's where
Aw-
we're and we're actually opens for submission for this year already.
Awesome, awesome. All right, filmmakers, get your films out there and submit it to International Film Festival. Remember, our motto here is give yourself a chance, and this is your chance. Submit those films.
And
All
then
right. Oh,
the
good.
thing can say Susan, who you hear from this broadcast, sent you over there.
There you go. All right. So Susan, you're also an influencer, and you've been working with a couple products, a couple brands. But there's one brand that stood out to me that, I haven't experienced myself, but so it's called Benevolence. It's a diffuser. Could you share a little bit about that product?
Yeah, so it's a really nice diffuser. It's kind of like an air quality changer. So it actually varies sound. It's how is it? It's like if you don't want the big noises and all that other stuff, it just very soft noise, and it diffuse like very like small amount of things. Like, you can put drops in it if you want, like, and they just kind of freshen your room without like overwhelming, scent. And it's good for your pets, and it's good for, your breathing and all the other things. Like, so yeah. So I've been working with not like the actual company, but a company that provide all these products. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And I also have heard that because you said at the beginning you were doing a red carpet, but you're a red carpet host as well.
Yeah.
Could you share some of the events that you were a red carpet host for?
Yeah. So I was red carpet host. That's how I kind of started my career in the very, very beginning through another friend's, endeavor company. And then I attended many different like movie premieres, LA, New York City. I've done like car shows. I've done um just like opening of like music videos, things like that that like kind of like either known or unknown. And like I've done like Grammys, Emmys, things like that. Yeah.
Awesome. So, with the many things that you've done so far, what would you say has been your greatest achievement?
Oh geez. The many things I've done so far, the biggest achievement. I think I surprised myself a lot with just different things I didn't think I was able to achieve or you know, complete it. And it just, a lot of times I kind of be like, oh, like, I'm just going to do this because I just want to do this. Like, it's just like, I'm very spontaneous, radically. I do it because I felt like it, and sometimes I'm just like surprised, like the Netflix thing. Never think anything of it. Just do it because I don't know, why not, right? Like,
Mhm.
have an opportunity, chance, go for it. Yeah, like, so I think the biggest surprise for me is expect unexpected. Like unexpected things for me is never expected what I was going to get that far. And even with the films and stuff like that, like, never even thought I was going to be an actress. That was, again, back to the beginning. Never crossed even my mind, ever. So I guess achievement wise is the more I do whatever I feel like doing, is the more achieve happiness I get because I don't have any expectations. You know what I mean? A lot of
Mhm.
times people have expectations, be like, oh, I'm gonna get an audition. I probably won't get this. You have all these hopes and dreams and things like that, right? We all do. I do. But a lot of times for me is more sporadically. I do because I want to. And I don't think of it. I just kind of put it out of the universe. I did it. Whatever happens, happens, and whatever meant to be is meant to be. There. I threw it. That's it.
I love it. All right. So we're at that part of the show where I ask all the guests this question. What is a book, a TV show, or a film that you recommend to the next generation of filmmakers?
I mean, I think recommendation wise, I watch a lot of like up and upcoming actress or things like that, even like Wicked or things like that. Just like watch, listen to your favorite actors or your favorite TV comedian shows, whatever you resonate with, because whatever I resonate with doesn't necessarily resonate with you or the other person. But I always says, try to go discover those indie fields because mainstream to me is too out there. You know what I mean? They've been grind grilled to perfections, right? And to me, because I've seen the levels of from start to finish, every level is different. So if you're focusing on like just A-listers, for example, not saying those people aren't good, but they've been grilled to perfection by their manager, and whoever else in their team. So, but they also have improvements at the same time. But their standards are different than yours. So I would say find like an indie film or an actress that's starting, especially like like TV shows, like especially, I don't want to say reality shows, but I feel like a lot of reality shows are up and coming actress, and you kind of can see their frustration, how they deal with cameras, in their face. And I love their show, The Circle, and all these reality shows. I don't think they're trashy. Yes, they are trashy in a bit, but to me, you can kind of see their frustration with the camera and with the producer and things like that, and just how they work on themselves week after week after week, right? And you can see how they're present to their cameras and stuff, because reality shows, it's kind of script and kind of not. So it can't be script 100% to be exact. You know what I mean? Except for like, I don't know if it's like anything like Kardashian or something, like those are actually script. That I don't know. I mean, but like, say like the circles and stuff, and those like shows, they gotta have some kind of your own personality. You know what I mean? To shine through, like competition shows. I'm saying competition reality show like Survivor, all these shows, not an actual like Kardashian things like that. No, no, that's not what I'm talking about. But you see these contestant shines, right? So you can kind of see week after week what their comfortability are. And for me, you can kind of judge if they're gonna make the next week or not based on how they talk, and kind of it's like a gauge thing for me. I mean, I see things different, maybe because I work behind the scenes and in front of the scenes and the backstage. I work on around productions. So I've seen every corner before. So for me, there's not one person or one thing that actually drives me. Every little person or every little thing, what I hear, what I see, who I met drives me. And I have to say Wicked is exceptionally done. Ariana Grande, she's a great singer, but I have never thought she would be a great actress. You know what I mean? Like I just never seen that. I mean, not that I never seen that in her, but it just wasn't expected of me to see her being like, you know, her in that level of acting. You know what I mean? So I think she's also a prime example of a young actress that was a singer known first and then becoming a stepfather and actress. So she's kind of stepping up her game like all other singers are. So that's kind of my take on it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I agree as well with Wicked. It's a great film.
Oh yeah,
Check it out if you haven't seen it. Oh yeah, everyone.
like I would think one of the best film I've seen this year, according to me, because I love musicals. And that I've always loved Wicked as musical, but to see that um on the film, it's a it's different, like feel, you know.
Awesome. All right, everyone. That was our episode of Inside Plug. Thank you again, multi-talented actress Susan Hu. Remember, filmmakers, go submit your film to International Film Festival. It's on the platform Film Freeway. And if you love today's episode, don't forget to check out some of our previous episodes. And remember, we're here every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date. I'm your host, Devon Jones. Once again, Susan, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you. And remember, everyone, stay inspired and keep creating. Inside Plug, signing out.